So now we just lift it very carefully into the microwave and pop it right in the centre. This is where you need really steady hands. And not forgetting to pop our lid on. So just carefully putting that down straight on there. Close our microwave. Now we're going to put this on for 3 minutes. Time for another little look. Use our fusing paper starting to go a little bit brown now. Now this time I'm going to start doing this at 1.5 minutes. But sometimes because 1 minute isn't enough to give it a really good boost, so 1.5 minutes will give it enough time to be able to capture that heat inside the microwave kiln. Yes, it's starting to glow nicely in the middle now. So we'll keep that heat going on there. Okay, still needs a little bit of softening on that end, just a tiny little bit more, not a lot. So we'll pop this on now for 20 seconds and that should be plenty. Yes, that's looking very good. Make sure you get a proper grip on the top of the kiln and the base of the kiln with both fingers, and then bring it out with 2 hands and pop it very gently on your tile cooling surface. So we've now waited 30 minutes and it's time to have a look at our piece of jewellery inside our kiln. When I touch the kiln on the outside, it's just warm to the touch. It's not hot at all, so I know from that temperature, even if I haven't been busy looking at my watch, I know that I can definitely take the lid off just simply by the temperature. The glass will still be too hot inside to actually touch at this point, but we can at least take the lid off and cool it down a little bit quicker that way. Right, notice when I take the lid off, I do put it down with the lid on its top. That's very nice. I'm pleased with that. It's a really nice little pendant. When I hold my hand over here, I can definitely feel a lot of heat coming off that glass stool. So we need to leave it now for another 15 to 20 minutes to cool down, and we can then move it off that and we will glue a bail onto it. Now we have a selection of bails here that we could use for this piece, and we'll just have a quick look to see what's going to work. Our nice 10mm gunmetal bail would look fine there. The other option is to do it the other way around, which I don't think is going to work quite so well. We could always do it horizontally as well, which is a bit different. I think in this case though, for me it works better that way. So now we'll decide, do we want a 10mm bail or do we want a 5mm flat tube bail, or perhaps a 10mm silver, or a 5mm silver, or we could go with a standard bail like that. I actually rather like the 10mm silver. That's my personal preference, and so long as it's not too rounded on the top there, then it will work. If it's too rounded, then your flat bail will end up showing the edges, which is not a pretty look, but that seems to work quite well. So we'll decide on that bail, and we'll take our E6000 glue, just take the lid off and just put a little blob on our paper. and very quickly pop the lid back on. With a toothpick, we then just scoop up a little bit of that glue, just like honey. Turn our piece over there, take our bail and just simply wipe that off. Just roll it off the toothpick without spreading it round. Otherwise you'll get yourself in an awful glue mess. So we then take our bail and very carefully position it where we think the middle is there. You'd be amazed at where you think the middle is from one side is completely different on the other side. So we just gently pop it on there, have a look at it from the front and reposition it if we need to, and then once we're happy with where that position is, we just give it a nice good firm push from the back to start the bonding process. We won't play around with it at all because once it starts bonding it needs to be left alone. So there we have our piece all ready just to be finished off with that glue and the bonding process, and then we'll be able to wear it. So you could realistically wear this in 2 hours time and simply pop your choker through there, a wire choker or some other type of choker or snake chain perhaps, pop that through there and you could be wearing that out tonight. In the meantime, just carefully sit it there and let it rest for an hour or two. Thank you. All the materials used in this project can be found on our website